Greetings, this is m squared, and we are going to, in this tutorial, we are going to find the vertex of a quadratic equation. So here are our equations, and this is one of the ways to do it. For those of you who like formulas, I kind of wrote another formula for vertex. The formula is negative b over 2a, comma, so this is your x-coordinate, negative b squared minus 4ac over 4a. You can use that if you want to. I'm not going to do it here, but I just thought if some people wanted to memorize a formula, they could. What I like to do is just find the x-coordinate, which is negative b over 2a, and then plug that x back into the equation for x and solve for y. So find f of that for my y-coordinate. So that's the way I'm going to do it in this tutorial. But if you want to use that formula, you can. So for the first one, a is negative 3, there's no b, so it's 0, and there's no c, so c is 0. So when I'm doing the x-coordinate for my vertex, I'm going to get x equals the opposite of b over 2 times a. Well, it doesn't matter what this is really, because I have a 0 on the top, and 0 divided by anything, in this case 6, is 0. So my x-coordinate is 0, so I have half my vertex. So what I do over here is I find f of 0. So that means I go back to f of x, and everywhere I see an x I put a 0. So I get negative 3 times 0 squared, and 0 squared is 0 times negative 3 is 0. So in this one, my y-coordinate is also 0. And if you ever get a quadratic equation where b and c are gone, you're always going to get that 0, 0 as your vertex. Let's try this one. So a is 1, because that's the number in front of the x squared. B is negative 2. And c is negative 8, just so you know what a, b, and c are. So to find the x-coordinate, I say the opposite of b over 2 times a. Well, negative 2, a negative negative 2, or the opposite of negative 2, is 2. And 2 times 1 on the bottom is 2. And 2 divided by 2 is 1. So the x-coordinate of my vertex is 1. So to find my y-coordinate, I'm going to find f of 1. So I go back to the original equation, and everywhere I see an x, I put a 1. So that's 1 squared minus 2 times 1 minus 8. 1 squared is 1. 2 times 1 is 2 minus 8. So 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 minus 8 is negative 9. So my y-coordinate is negative 9. So my vertex is 1, negative 9. On to this one. A is negative 3 is 0, because there's no constant term. So negative b over 2a. Well, 2 times negative 3 is negative 6, and I have a negative 6 on top, and a negative 6 divided by a negative 6 is a 1. So my x-coordinate is 1. And then I go back over here and find f of 1. So I get negative 3 times 1 squared plus 6 times 1. 1 squared is 1 times negative 3 is negative 3. 6 times 1 is 6. And negative 3 plus 6 is 3. So my y-coordinate is 3. So just go step by step. Watch the signs. The biggest problem people probably make is this, when you're doing the opposite of a negative, they might forget one of the negatives. So that's probably the place where kids make a big mistake. Also, when you're squaring something, we didn't have any negatives here, but if you were squaring a negative, remember, squaring a negative is always a positive. So be careful there, because a lot of times people make mistakes there too. Good luck. M squared, signing out.